putting pressure. And you always have that thing, when you have Dawnbreaker carry, you're always like, is this Dawnbreaker alone waiting to combat with her team who are playing elsewhere as 4? Or are they actually baiting on this lane and the team behind her? It's actually really difficult to tell what's going on if you don't have much vision against a Dawnbreaker, so... Can be really tough. Obviously, Ember, fantastic on the map as well, so yeah, potential for a full-on shutout if these lanes don't go well for Shopify Rebellion. I often wonder why Techies has the most cooked facets in the game. Why is it just...
But they're trying to make him the most fun. It's like Valve's doing its penance for changing the hero, you know, too much. You'll give you some interesting facets. Say facets or talents, sorry. I'm going crazy.
I said facets.
Alright, good, okay.
You're good, you're good. It's like one reasonable one, and then 2 which is just very, very strange. Anyway. Nightfall was under the cover of smoke as he turned up here, so was able to identify that there was heroes on the high ground and wisely not approach.
Oh. Airblade.
Yeah, he is in some trouble here as Mira comes jumping on in, and Tomato looks like he will be killed off. Hanto getting first blood on the Ancient Apparition.
Do you know when I said Terrorblade, you pick him to try and win lanes?
Yep.
I forgot to think about the idea of, does a 600 HP Terrorblade win against Shockwave and Blast-Off spam? Hyper Magic spam. Oof. I'm a little, yeah, thinking about it, I'm a bit worried now. Just seeing the amount of damage that was in, you know, a millisecond.
Look at this, Skem's not even allowed to go to his lane, although he is going to find a courier. Mira, a little bit of a blunder on that courier usage there, buddy. That's alright. And Skem will TP back. Or he won't. He'll try and walk back. I mean, Yamato's actually doing fine. Tomato's actually doing fine. He's just popped Metamorphosis. He's having a reasonable time up here in the top lane, so it should be alright. Once meta is over, then we may have some trouble. And of course, oh my god, that is so much damage. Yeah, Shockwave Blast off, huh? But Mira's now in awkward position. Skem trying to run him down. Yamato as well. On his tail.
Can he do it? Yeah, well, this is fine. And there might even be a world where Mira picks up the reactive taser at level 2, right? You know, 2.4 seconds of that disarm. Easily will be able to disengage from the fight once he gets into the middle of it, so... We'll see where Mira wants to go with the build, but so far, the aggression from this offlane is really paying off.
It's doing alright. It does get punished though, important to mention. You know, Mira lost a lot of his health pool in response. Yeah, Tomato's pretty much full again now. Just turns around, uses the reflection. They realise that if they can keep this Techies low, then there's no way he can just jump in and blast off onto Tomato. It's just going to hurt too much.
Well, he's bringing out the salve on Techie, so he'll be able to fix that and turn it around. But yeah, you're right. Yeah. Aurora, when they do jump in, it needs to be like a clean jump with purpose. It can't just be throw spells just to chip them down for the fun of it. Because then, yeah, like you said, the turnaround can always come into play.
Yeah, reflection spam's just being used on Techies here. Anyway, over in the mid lane, it's Kiyotaka versus Yopaj. Tiny versus the Ember Spirit. Not much should happen here. I mean, Tiny's going to have a bit of an advantage due to that big old tree of his. Should pull a little bit ahead of the Ember. But shouldn't really be too much happening in this middle lane unless some supports come rotating in. There's that taser coming out to try and get away from Skem, but Skem is just not leaving him alone. And that's a lot of health gone already.
Did get the block.
Yeah, he just duked in at the last second there to make sure he got the block, but down to the bottom side, Nightfall finishing off Davai Lama, getting himself a nice little kill there onto the enemy offlaner.
A pound Dawnbreaker. We didn't really talk about why it's good, I just kind of mentioned it in the draft, but didn't really go into detail. It's the fact that you just have good gap close and just the damage to kill off Eidolons, right? Just being able to right click through them with the Starbreaker, and if the Enigma ever steps up to try and pressure you, that Celestial Hammer, boom, right on top. So if you have a good support with you, you're always killing off the Idolers, you're always killing the Enigma. But it is a niche pick that not many carry players want to play, as, of course, it is a Dawnbreaker. Mira, they're getting pressured a little bit top with the disarm. Again, 2.5 seconds, plenty of time to be able to walk away from the Terrorblade.
Tomato and a Scam getting a little bit overconfident here, maybe, as Kiyotaka going in for the water rune here, but getting iced up at the moment is Scam, but he's going to get the right click off anyway. Panto cannot save Kiyotaka, and that'll be a kill onto him. Some nice rotation across from Scam, securing the kill, getting the water rune as well. Yopaj going to be able to bottle up the other water runes, so they'll be alright.
Really, really big kill. If your Dawnbreaker's farming well, your Magnus is farming well, and then Kiyotaka gets to enter the game, right? Like, we've seen Embers just really break the game so far at DreamLeague 2026. If you want to remember, you know, the epic game yesterday with Yakov Brothers, right? The emo Ember Spirit, you know, 20-odd kills. Have to make sure that the Ember Specialists do not get a free ride into the mid-game.
No, absolutely not. Because, I mean, the hero plays so well from behind anyway. You just want to put it on the back foot, make sure
Alright, just to
get a chance.
Change topic real quick. When we talk about, you know, early game, mid game, late game, right? I kind of feel like we need to add a new one, right? Because we have the laning phase, right? It's very critical. 8 minutes of hyper-focused laning, Dota, whatever. But then I feel like the 9 to 15 minutes is fine. He's not dead. He knew we were talking. It's fine. He was very respectful. But like the 9 to 15 minutes, that's not mid game, and it's not laning phase. And it's like, is it technically early game? Is it not something else post laning phase? The Vailama dying? Stop reacting to the kills, Nomad. We got to focus on this very important topic.
I know. Okay, we'll call it Dota brunch. How about that?
Ooh, okay. That sounds awful, but it's fine. We'll go with it just to move on the conversation. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
nice.
you know, it's the same thing. Whereas between when you want your meal between breakfast and lunch.
Okay.
Similar to Dota, something between early and mid.
All right.
What do you want to call it? Early mid game? Boring. No thanks.
Okay, fine. We'll talk about the brunch phase of the game.
All right. Let me know when brunch begins and ends, and then we can sort of start to get everybody a better understanding of it.
No, for sure. Again, it takes some calibration. That's perfectly fine.
Scam once again securing the power rune. And Kiyotaka is going to tip out Scam here, being like, bro, what do you want from me? Leave me alone. Well, he says, I want this, I want your life. And they might just well get it here. Toss back onto Kiyotaka. He does not have 6 on the Ember Spirit, so he is just dead. But Tiny might be going down as well. Frozen solid by Panto. The damage comes in and Yopaj goes down. Elsewhere on the map, Nightfall has actually fallen down in the bottom side. That is pretty crazy.
Yeah, whilst the aggression was coming mid, he got a dead shot into a calling with level 3 idols just clicking him down the entire time. So such aggressive positioning, but when your supports aren't with you, I feel like you are going to be dying. That's why Muerto is one of the best position forwards, right? It's just you get the number advantage, you always can find a good kill.
I remember when this hero first came out, and the fear was about 4 seconds long or something, so you could just like fear people under your tower from mid lane. It was very fun. Anyway,
Scam's dead.
Scam's dead.
Yep. I think Shopify right now, they're going to be pretty content with what's happening, right? Like the Dawnbreaker and the Enigma, they're just trading net worth, right? There's neither hero has truly shut the other one out of the lane, right?
Yeah, no.
And then on top of that, I'd say the Terrorblade doing fairly well in a lane which could have easily just become a Magnus and Techie's dominant lane where you kill the Terrorblade a couple times. He's played very defensive and...
Yeah, I think they recognized earlier on the early points just harass Mira. Every single spell gets used onto Mira to make sure that he can't just blast off into heroes. And then from there on out, the pressure moved towards mid lane, forcing Mira into the mid lane to react to Scam's pressure and freeing up the Terrorblade a little bit more. So Tomato is definitely going to have a game here. Kiyotaka TPing down to the bottom lane. They're looking one-to-one setup onto Davai Lama as everything being used, and that will be enough to drop him down. Scalescream throws down the calling, but a little too late to help out. Kiyotaka looking for the Muerta here. We'll be able to get off these chains, tries to get around the other side, tries to Manta, well, Illusion Rune dodge the fear, doesn't quite work out, but still going to be able to kill off Hellscream regardless.
This is like, if you ever watch like a Divine Llama game, it's kind of fun where he's like hyper aggressive in lane where possible, right? And that always needs to create these moments where it's like, sure, he dies, but then seconds later he's killing Nightfall, then he's back in the lane and then he's dying again. It's just like, the scary thing is you should never allow him to get the 2-3 kills completely unpunished. So Aurora Gaming clearly understand the type of player that Divine Llama is and making sure that that aggression doesn't go unpunished. And he is looking to go straight.
Really going to be able to stop him from, like, you know, getting kills, because he just play like a madman, right? He plays deep, he plays aggressively. You're not going to stop him from getting the occasional kill, but you have to take advantage of the opportunities when they come up, because aggression will always lead to opportunities. And yeah, this is a good catch here onto the Ancient Apparition. He's done so much for his team so far, and he will be going down to Hellscream. And this is also going to create an opportunity to start pressuring this tower as well.
Top lane.
Yeah, up he goes on to the Terrorblade as the damage comes in, but
wait, what
Nightfall didn't leave.
Did he ult himself? Did he click it on him? I'm pretty sure he clicked it on himself, right?
That must be it, right?
Yeah.
I'd ask for a replay, but don't know if we have that technology. It's something we weren't looking at.
No, we actually did technically see it for a millisecond. We can.
All right, let's.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Ah!
Yeah,
Oh,
the self-ulti, Nightfall, you silly sausage.
Oh, I was gonna say, there's no way. It had to be on himself, right? Like the fact that he hadn't moved. Oh god.
Oh. Well, that keeps the Terrorblade alive, and now we see a play coming out onto Yopaj, though. Aurora are getting busy, but they've lost Mirror in this attempt so far. Yopaj going for the deny creeps, please, and they will consent. They take him down. Yopaj is dead to the neutrals. Very nicely done. You try to gank the Tiny, you end up losing a hero, and then he gets denied. That is a huge win, as they'll also be able to pick off Panto here as well. Hellscream going to be frozen solid, but that's absolutely fine.
See both teams, you know, they're just poking at each other where possible, right? Like, as soon as we see the fight bottom, the tier 1 getting pressured, they are trying to go the Terrorblade top, and then as soon as that happens top, then they're poking into the jungle, right? Like, both teams really are just trying to find that extra little edge, and I respect the fact that Shopify also, you know, are matching that aggression. When you look at the lineups, you just don't really see it being at the same, I guess, quality in regards to like Aurora's heroes, but they are finding ways to make it happen. And of course, the Tiny and Enigma, they're the ones that are kind of like linking it all together, right? Yeah, very good stuff so far from them.
Yeah, and they're not playing together like all the time, you know, they're giving each other space to make sure that their networks are doing fine. Every now and again, they'll link up to try to put pressure, you know, take the bottom tower. But ultimately, they're playing around each other nicely, but they're also putting pressure nicely. And admittedly, you know, I think Tomato, it could be argued that he should have had a death earlier on. If that Dawnbreaker ulti had come off, then I don't think he'd be surviving, but you know, you take it. You take it. We'll look at that later when we get to sort of mid-game to see where Tomato is at. We can kind of reflect on how impactful that Mr. Solar Guardian was, as Panto's going to go down at mid, trying to get aggressive, trying to enable Kiyotaka, but just ends up falling.
The entire time, Tomato has not really been pressured top right. Again, yes, there was an RP on him. Nightfall then missed his ultimate, right? But kind of, I guess, a surprising event, as we do see Hellscream getting pressured in the mid lane. Nightfall does use his ultimate correctly.
Forwards, but it's still they still get the kill as Tomato comes in, scoops up Mirror, and Kiyotaka's dead as well to Yopaj. Not really a worthwhile trade right here. Nightfall nearby, but the ulti, you know, didn't really change a whole lot there.
Right, I'm going to be very honest with you, boss, and I hope that's okay.
That's all right.
I don't really know what Aurora's doing. Like,
no,
they're spell pressing. It feels like they've put like they brought their kid to work day, you know, and it's like little Timmy's allowed to play on the keyboard for like 5 minutes, right? And everything's just getting used real weird. Like, there's no Ice Blast getting in. Of course, he's TPing into the fight. He's now there. Once the AA's now into the fight, your Ember's already dead. It's just everyone's. This is not the Aurora we're used to seeing. So I think they have to, you know, shake off some of that that morning sleep and get back into some form here, but they are doing that. They instantly take the fight to top, kill the Terribly, kill the Tiny, and alright, Timmy's off the keyboard.
Move.
That's critical.
Yeah, they've kicked off their cousin. It's now gaming time. And Hellscream, he's going to be the next one to fall as well. 3 heroes dead on the side of Shopify Rebellion. Massive fight up in the top side. Tomato just trying to get some damage off on this tier 1 tower. Trying to bait it a little bit with the Tiny, but yeah, you don't want to bait with your carry like that. Aurora take advantage.
Like, this is the fight I expect to see from Aurora. That kind of just like, you see a hero and they're gonna disappear, right? Like AA, techies, mag, like everything that they have is, you know, picking off that hero that's by themselves, standing their ground in front of a tower, right? And I'm expecting Aurora to start replicating that. Of course, with the Blink Dagger and the Magnus, you can just find heroes of ease now. I think Shopify, they've had a very good early game, but they have to respect that pacing will inevitably move towards Aurora. And when they take a fight, it has to be like the perfect fight. They play around the Tiny's jump, or the Earth Splitter, or the Black Hole. Like, they need that one big spell to thwart the aggression of Aurora. Itemization-wise, we do have the Echo Saber on the Dawnbreaker, moving into Radiance. Kiyotaka has the Mage Slayer complete. We already mentioned the Blink Dagger. So a lot of skirmishing items are getting picked up by Aurora, looking to try and break into this mid game. We already
and then the counter skirmish coming out from Shopify Rebellion as Davai Lama picks up his pipe, which is really going to help him if he's there in time. And Yopaj, he's just still chilling with Blink Dagger. You know, we do see Tiny sometimes fall behind at this point in the game in the brunch if they can't find themselves some important kills. But both teams so close to each other here in the nighttime. Chains comes down onto a Hellscream. Hellscream just pops the ulti, runs away, breaks the chains and leaves. They're going here onto Davai Lama. Davai Lama gonna turn around though. He's got the pipe. The RP comes down onto the two of them. Really nice job from Toronto Tokyo. Follow up from Mira. They've lost Davai Lama. Yopaj looking low as well. Kiyotaka, they're gonna grab another, but Tomato turns around, kills both Toronto Tokyo and Mira. And now they'll have to leave. Aurora though, turning around, getting off some chains. It's good damage out onto Hellscream and Tomato. And Kiyotaka, he's got the arcane rune, so he really doesn't feel like leaving right now. But maybe he should.
Yeah, Aurora, they've really identified the need to prevent Davai Lama from getting that black hole, of course, right? So you got the stun from the Solar Guardian, and then on top of that, you then had the RP, and then after the RP, there was a clutch little blaster from the techies to prevent it, right? Because here, Davai Lama's like, okay, I just need to get out of Solar Guardian. Boom, you get RP'd. Then he turns around, as soon as he casts it, within a fraction of a second, Mira's already on top of him, cancelling it. So they gave zero chance to provide that comeback, that kind of turnaround potential.
Yeah.
So very good fights between the both teams there.
Honestly, I was almost expecting Davai to just like ulti, even though the Dawnbreaker was coming down, because I feel like you had like whatever, like the 2 seconds it takes for Solar Guardian to land to lock down Kiyotaka and maybe kill him. Yeah. But it would have been an insane thing to do. But you know, I know Davai Lama. If it's insane and it works, then he's probably going to do it.
To be fair, he was kind of close to getting it off, right? Like, if he'd been able to get out of the Solar Guardian a bit quicker, then put the Black Hole, that he wouldn't have been hit by the RP. And also, if it's running, the techies then can't blast off on you. You have to kind of blast off to the side, and it makes it a little bit harder, right? But the fact that he couldn't get out of Solar Guardian quick enough was, I think, the biggest point of contention for that fight. And yeah, my God, Knife was so far. Just 10,000 gold. He has more than like
so much. Oh my God, that is.
He is like, yeah, it's 10 CS per minute. He is insanely farmed as the Tormentor does go the way of Shopify Rebellion. As a shard for Hellscream. Pretty bad shard.
10k gold in 16 minutes is actually like some crazy stuff. Like usually I think 10k around like 19 minutes. It's sort of like the general mark. Maybe 18 on something like a Gyrocopter or Medusa or something, but
we have to note that he has been hitting like Eidolons, which maybe inflated this by potentially 20 or 30 CS, but still.
RP out onto Tomato. Toronto Tokyo finding a snipe here. Tomato just got out of absolutely nowhere.
Just disappears. Do you know when I had those concerns about the Terrorblade? This is kind of now the point in the game which matches my concern, right? Like when you look at the Terrorblade items, it's a Yasha, it's a Dragonlance. And then you look at the Dawnbreaker and it's like Radiant, Echo Saber. Like, it's such a night and day difference between which core wants to fight and which core wants to like play the map, hide in the shadows, and open up the game for a little bit of a longer fight in the future. But we'll see what Shopify can do. The black hole is coming off cooldown in 7 seconds. They are grouping up on the top side of the map.
Certainly are. The thing is, black hole, I just don't feel like it's that much of a timing for them. But maybe with Solar Guardian on cooldown, they can consider it.
There's always a world that you can hit it, right? It's a tri-melee core. At any point, with an RP, Ember Dawnbreaker all collapsing onto someone, it just takes that one moment, and you are going to be able to turn around a fight. You just need to get the opportunity.
You can kind of feel that Aurora, they're respecting that a lot. They're not showing, they know that the Solar Guardian's on cooldown, so there is real potential here for Shopify to get something done. If I say this and then Nightfall just runs at the Miltar, no, he's just going to use his hammer to clear it out. Cool. Chillin'. Nightfall now happy to show in the middle lane, has Solar Guardian back up again. Kiyotaka with double damage as well. That is scary. You gotta stay away. And look at all the bombs. Oh no!
Oh!
Into the minefield you go! Toronto Tokyo playing up with the techies absolutely fantastically. They weren't ready for that one, but they spent a long time mining up this triangle. And Tomato just gets blown to pieces. There's bits of him strewn across the map right now.
What a... show it again. You know what? Show it twice if possible. It is just a beautiful combination of Magnus and techies, right? You want to step up into here? No, farewell. You're tanking 3, 4, 5 mines. Oh, here it is. One more time. For all the techies enjoyers out there in the world.
Goodness gracious.
I thought when the curtains closed.
60 damage from the mines, and then of course the Skewer ends up doing 450 damage as well because of all the mine damage as well reduction. Yeah, you get magic resistance reduction from each mine that explodes, so the Skewer ends up doing, whoa, here we go, going on Kiyotaka here, and they will have the damage to bring him down. Urspit gets a kill. Kiyotaka will die. It just feels like none of this really matters though. Like, it's such a small kill in comparison to the fact that they killed off Tomato like twice over now in that triangle, completely removing him from the game.
Do you want to know the silver lining to this entire play? And this is me coping as if I'm on Shopify right now trying to tell my team this. Okay, ready?
Yeah. Let me take a buff.
Don't worry, all right? We have Eidolons and we have TB illusions. The fact that we died there was unacceptable. We'll just send our illusions and Eidolons up first. We'll blow up all the mines, and then we won't die. Their big combo, it'll fall apart. They got us once, but it's at 20 minutes. It doesn't matter. The death at 20 minutes doesn't decide the game. They didn't do that combination at 45 minutes when it was a game-deciding moment, all right? So don't worry, guys. We have the mechanics. We have the tools. It's okay. There we go. That's the cope.
Thank you. We needed that.
No worries. Okay. For all the Shopify fans out there.
Mirror getting caught here a little bit, although he doesn't have many mines down here. That'll be fine. Would be really funny if they just didn't chase him because they were scared, but they will kill him off.
Magnus, he's charging in.
Yep, RP at the ready. Toronto Tokyo has been on the mark with these. Will anybody show? Tomato farming under a ward once again, by the way.
They have really deep vision on Aurora, right? They got the top ward,
yeah,
the bottom jungle.
Oh, Kiyotaka with the BKB getting a little bit handsy with Davai Lama. Right, trying to get away, but I don't think he's got a way out of this one. In comes the RP once again, landing on Tattoo. Davai Lama and Scam removed from this plane of existence. See you later, friends. Another couple of great kills, another great catch from Toronto Tokyo. Honestly, like, we've seen so many Magnuses in this tournament, which have just been kind of chilling, you know, maybe like one nice RP at the end, whatever. Nah, Toronto Tokyo, he's landing them all right now. He's learned from the best.
We've heard in interviews that he just enjoys playing Magnus, right? Because it's one of his favorite heroes. I can't blame him, right? When you think about what is a fun hero, Magnus is quite, it's mechanically challenging. It feels fluid to play. When it works, it does.
Nightfall in the middle lane. This is a BKB Nightfall, though. I don't imagine he's in any trouble here, especially with the Radiance giving him the missed chance, though.
He could be used.
Big reaction.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can get something from this.
Oh, they're going straight to
Shield Rune as well, yeah. This could be really smart. Let's see.
No Solar Guardian.
Flying on in. No Solar Guardian, no RP either. That was used down on the bottom side, so you can see why they're feeling so confident now. Toss back onto Mira, no techies. The body's starting to pile up. Yamato just trying to get down Roche, but it's very, very slow. They don't have long left on Metamorphosis. Starting to feel a little bit awkward. You know Aurora's not going to drop it. They are just not going to concede this Roche for free. Keep poking, keep prodding. Solar Guardian, it's back up and available here. I don't know about this one, T.
Neither am I, boss. The Ember's got the BKB. He can just get into the middle of the fight, enable the Solar Guardian. You've got to be careful if you're Shopify, and yeah, they can feel it as well. Just not working out.
Very, very awkward here. And now you've got everything. RP's back up, Solar Guardian's back up, BKBs are back up, smoke up. They know exactly what they need to do. Will they hold the triangle here on Shopify Rebellion, or can Aurora break it? It's so difficult to hold positions. It is, yeah, they know what's up.
Break the smoke.
Well, Magnus just allowed to get up the high ground here, though. He's going to get the skewer back onto Skim as they'll jump into the backlines, immediately just trying to blow up Davai Lama. Davai Lama,
big back hole
turnaround onto the three of them. The follow-up damage, though, is just not coming in right now. It's just a resetting black hole, and they cannot do the damage. So Davai Lama's going to fall. Panto's dead as well. Skim, Hellscream also falling as Toronto Tokyo whiffs the RP. Doesn't quite land it here. Yamato, got to be a little bit careful here. But he's just trying to blow up some heroes. He knows there's no more like health or BKBs available. So he's more than happy to just run around and try and be a force in this fight. Now that was a very, very even fight, actually. I still think Aurora got the better of them, but it could have gone either way.
And this is where the draft were just punishing, right? That fight was pretty good for Shopify. The ET, sure, he gets dragged to the low ground, but they don't have the detection. So he sleeps up the Magnus. At the same time, Enigma force stuffs out of the Solar Guardian to then hit a three-man black hole. But again, Meta was on cooldown. The Terrorblade,
he was
on the left-hand side of the fight. You know, it's like there's no Meta on the Terrorblade. The Enigma is like kind of solo black holing three heroes, whilst your ET stomping up the Magnus. Like they had all the control, but where there was no damage. And the fact is, even though they survived that fight, they survived the fight, they have to go to Roshan. That's the phrasing I want to go for. They need to take something from the map, as they didn't get kills.
Yeah.
They killed off the tech.
I mean, it didn't really go badly for either team there, right? Like all they lost was Davai Lama on Shopify Rebellion, but Aurora, they used all their cooldowns, didn't advance the map state from it, and for them, that's a loss, I would say. They can't fight without their ultis. Shopify can. That's the read that both teams have in this game, and that's why Shopify Rebellion are able to take Roshan from this. Very close game at the moment.
I'm actually
9k gold advantage for Aurora.
It feels a lot closer than it is. Even though Aurora is like 9k up, you can feel the fight. There is this kind of like aura of like, what if they don't cancel the black hole? What if Terrorblade actually has meta available to fight next time? Sure, this all comes tumbling down when the black hole's missed and the Terrorblade doesn't have meta and they just lose the fight and the game's over, right? But until that happens, I guess that's what just the heroes do, right? They always give you this like anticipation of maybe they can win the next one.
Yep. And there's like,
to be clear,
seriously scary late game timings as well on both teams, to be honest. We have it on a barn burner, which we seem to be having a couple of in these group stages. This game's going to get wild. Like we're going to see Tiny just like lobbing trees into the black holes, and we're going to have, we'll see Magnus with double RPs coming out. Like it's going to get wild. Jumping the gun a bit here. I mean, it's still a case of Shopify having to survive the constant pressure from Aurora, and Tomato needs to find a fight. He's still not at the point where he wants to be on this Terrorblade. Going actually for the Orchid. Interesting. So no Scouty, just going Orchid, no Butterfly. How do you feel about this?
I think it's one of those item builds where it's like, if my hero on my team gets stunned, I can quickly do enough damage with the Orchid, with the Soul Burn, and then disengage. But my fear is, did he need like
Just
a bigger
fears.
item to survive? That's it.
This is a very, very awkward. Oh, don't go near it. No, the A blast. Oh, God. Toronto comes flying into the tree line, pops a BKB looking for a target, sees Yopaj. I mean, he's gonna get the. Oh, he's not! He doesn't get the RB. Did Yamato, did Tomato Manta dodge that? I'm not sure. Either way, Davai Lama dead on the backlines, dead to Nightfall. Toronto Tokyo does get punished for his misinitiation, but he'll get the first life and the Metamorphosis off the TB, which is gonna make things very awkward when it comes back to life. Hellscream is gone, and with no BKB, Tomato has no way out of this one. Nice little Hurricane Pike down to the low ground, and Skem following up with a lovely Earth Splitter. Hello, there comes the sun to the turnaround. Nightfall and Mira, they're both dead. Kiyotaka trying to get away, but he will not escape Tomato. They get a massive, massive swing here, and all on the backs of Skem with a huge Earth Splitter, finding the choke point. Tomato triple kill. I mean, there's a lot to be said about this fight, and we've got just a man to say it. T-Governor, to talk to me, baby.
All right. So, Aurora, what are we doing here, boys? All right, it all starts with Shopify. They got the high ground, they take the Tormentor, they use Meta. That baits Aurora into this full sense of security. Guys, Aurora, we gotta kill him. But the fact that 2 fights in a row now, it feels like Toronto Tokyo just has not connected on his Magnus. Yotaro gets to survive the RP. Again, I honestly couldn't tell. It looked like he Manta dodged it because how close Magnus was, but also it was that close, like he could have maybe just been out of range. But let's assume for the narrative, he Manta dodged it. What a dodge from
Tomato. One more replay on the RP to see if he Manta dodged it. One more. I'm sorry, production. I know. Nobody cares what's going on. They're taking it out. Who cares? Let's just see it. Let's just see it. So here we go. Toronto Tokyo goes in. Yeah. That's a Manta dodge. That's a
Manta dodge. Yeah, that's a Manta dodge. We're locking it in. All right.
Yeah.
Answer,
the panel. They call the panel saying yes.
Yep. It was like, I think because of the Crimson witness he has, it actually makes it even more obvious that it was missed.
Yeah, that fancy.
Oh, dodged. Sorry, dodged. Yeah,
dodged.
But no, again, for Shopify, like it felt. I can see why Aurora took the fight, right? Because like the meta is used to hit a Tormentor. It's like, wait a second, guys. They have an Aegis timing, and they're just taking Tormentor, huh? So it feels good. But then it's like you use all your resource to kill off the Davai Lama Enigma, to then not lock down the Terrorblade. His Aegis gets used to sunder the Dawnbreaker. BKBs were used so early in the fight that the ET and the Tiny thrived through how long the fight was. Multiple tosses, multiple avalanches, the big Earth Splitter. You know, for Aurora, it needs to be clean kills, right? We've seen them take previous fights where it's the RP into Ice Blast, that hero is dead, but and Aurora showing some fights where they're just not executing as cleanly as before, and Shopify, they're just outplaying them, dragging out the fight long enough to, you know, to survive the initiation, to survive the damage that they have, and we'll see if they can continue replicating that. They were down about 10,000 gold, and now it's a very even game. Terrorblade, we talked about him getting an Orchid, right? A couple minutes ago. He's now got an entire BKB.
And if we're being honest with ourselves, like, I don't know, this net worth is a little bit of a lie between Tomato and Nightfall, where, yeah, Nightfall's ahead, but Tomato's just going to do more with his money. The hero just does more with their money, so maybe Noxy went for the Orchid thing, but I don't know. To me,
the Orchid's always nice for, like I said, it's good damage in the moment of lockdown, but when the fight, like how Shopify are playing, when the fight progresses for, what 20 seconds, a random Orchid on an Ember or a Mag or a Dawn, it's good enough to combo break them, right? So, yeah, I think the way that Tomato's playing, we are going to see this Orchid have some good life to it. But Shopify, they already smoked up mid. They saw the Ice Blast use top, and there's a decent window now, 30 seconds. Davai Lama went for a Boots of Trapple. Okay.
He wants to be everywhere, but they managed to find Tomato on the sidelines. He's going to need a bit of help here. He has no Sunder available to use it stop onto the techies, but there comes a black hole. Tomato just has to back himself away, though it's so awkward. Davai Lama saving Tomato. Tomato turns around with the Orchid out onto Kiyotaka to stop him chasing further, and they will be able to hold back the Ember Spirit, at least for now. Meanwhile, in the main line of the fight, Yopaj is trying to fight against everybody. He's going to fall. And a really awkward fight here, but finally the Sunder comes off. Tomato finds the opportunity, but he's got to be a little bit careful here still as he gets dragged back, and that means a cold feet's going to land. A force off is there, it gets him to the side, they're pinging him out, they need to finish the job, and they just can't get on top of him. Tomato's going to walk away again, or is he? Toronto Tokyo comes in, finishes the job. Toronto Tokyo delivers. But on the sidelines, Mira trying to run away from Yopaj, and he's giving him the run around the trees right now, but Yopaj, he's got the Avatos, he can bring him down. A very, very split engagement here. And so awkward. Like, great black hole from Davai Lama, but the follow-up was not available from Tomato because he used the Sunder top lane onto the techies. The techies are chasing him through the trees with a couple of bombs, being annoying, TP'd out, so no Sunder available for the fight.
Yopaj is here?
He certainly is, but there's the Aghanims from Toronto Tokyo, but Yules, toss, whack, walk, bonk. Bash? Oh,
really long kill.
Yeah.
Panto's in?
Panto, he just wanted to Ice Blast somebody. Can't blame him. Yopaj still chasing. Uh-oh.
This is a buyback, Yopaj.
Yeah, this is not looking too great for Yopaj here. Diebacks. Panto gonna cancel out Hellscream's TP as well with that Atos. Hellscream trying to get himself away, but you just cannot escape Ancient Apparition. And Nightfall comes in and gets gifted a double kill from Panto. Thank you very much, friend.
I know it's my job to talk about what just happened, but it was such a long fight. I don't even know where to start.
It's all started with that weird fight in the middle lane, and now we've still got skirmishes happening as Mira's getting a bit zesty onto Davai Lama. Why? Well, that's because Panto's in the neighborhood, still being aggressive. Ice Blast coming down, and Davai Lama is going to get caught by that. I don't think he's going to die, and Panto is. So, Aurora Sports, they're feeling it right now. That is for sure.
Okay, is the game calm now? Can we talk about the first fight that happened in the last couple minutes?
Yeah, go for it. I don't know what fight that is, but
that's Tomato getting caught in the river by the Magnus, right? I think. Oh, perfect. We can just let's watch it again. So yeah, the fact that we're praising Shopify for how they took the fight, right? But this is just not the way that you want to start an engagement, right? The Terrorblade, he walks down to connect with his team. His team was smoked as 4. He wasn't smoked on the Terrorblade, not anticipating Aurora to be in the same location. And because of that, Aurora entered this fight with such an explosive moment, right? It's just, Terrorblade can't fight, Black Hole's wasted, you're on the chase, sure. It then turned to Shopify maybe having a bit of a turnaround, but that's because you've had to use the buyback. And they take the fight from mid-tier 2 all the way to behind the top Radiant tier 2. That's how far Shopify chased in the hope to get a turnaround kill from a really bad engagement at the start. So yeah, it was... Yeah, Shopify, they were locked into that fight. They did not want to back down at any point, and they know that the fights can be cleaner. The reason why this game is difficult for them is just because the Magnus just keeps finding that quick entry. But respect the Magnus, and this game will be a lot closer for them.
Certainly will.
So they have respected the Magnus. They've shut him down in the last couple of fights. Like, he's missed a couple RPs, he got Manta dodged, he got slept up. Like, this is not some flawless Magnus game. Like, Shopify have shown that they know how to stop him performing in the fights. Just consistency on that matter is probably the key thing there. Smoked up as 4, and again, the Divine Lava buying boots of travel. I don't really get this. I'll be honest, he was like on the horizon to like a BKB or just a big item for a fight, and
well, he's in a bit of bother here. They'll drop the RP down onto him. Just about every spell used onto Davai Lama here, so he is going to die. Hey, if you buy back some boost travels in, that's pretty value, but he doesn't have it, so yeah. Now turn around onto Kiyotaka. They've got the Orchid out onto him. Hello, Kiyotaka. He's going to fall. Tomato guns him down. And now a toss back from Yopaj as well into Tomato. Tomato doing so much work, but the Satanic with the Starbreaker from Nightfall gets him back up to full, but he's only got one. And Tomato, he just keeps on hitting. Tomato, though, he needs to get off the Sunder. Oh, he gets stunned over the last minute and goes down. Tomato, he's dead. Shopify will be losing this fight narrowly. It's a game of inches here. Unfortunately, Tomato just gave him one too many. Nightfall ends up being the top carry in this fight. what can they do with that? Roshan is alive in the top pit, but without their ultis, it is really hard to face up versus Shopify Rebellion, but still, no Terrorblade for 70 seconds. They should be going for this.
Every fight Shopify take, it's always after a big hero has been punished, right? Like the mid fight, Terrorblade has to disengage, and then Enigma's dead. Then the top fight, Enigma gets picked off, but they're still trying to clutch it up, right? And Terrorblade, sure, he gets bashed and dies. If Shopify took a fight on their own terms one time, then maybe the narrative is very different, but Aurora, they're doing so well at always getting a quick pick. They're going into Roshan.
Yeah, they're playing into this extremely annoying...
Oh, lost back.
Toronto is all over the place. A lot of movement displacement going on here. Yeah, being hit by a million ghosts, and now feared again. My god. There's Aghanims on the Muerta. So very annoying. Another day, another fear. Roshan down to 25% HP. Devilana trying to mess with him, trying to poke, trying to prod.
Yep.
Yopaj is looking. He's a little far away. He's going to jump in there. Yopaj! He gets it! The Rage is Steel into the hands of the Tiny. Will they punish him for it, though? It's looking like they're trying, but he's going to get out the back of the pit. He just forced himself out. Shopify Rebellion. They will claim the Aegis for Yopaj.
Yopaj and Scam doing so much work. They even Hellscream as well, right? The constant dead shot spam. Then the ET Spirit to instantly know what's the HP looking like, how are we going. And Yopaj capitalizes on his support, buying time, opening up the vision for the fight. He blinks in, gets the Aegis. You need to make these clutch plays if you Shopify, because the team fights, they're just not working out right now. But outside of the team fight, they're pulling out the good plays. Just need to try and pull it together. Aurora, they're going to be kicking themselves. That was meant to be their Roshan, their Aegis.
And like, you have techies, you have AA, you have the heroes to stop this Blinks coming out. They didn't protect every angle. Like, as much as you want to praise Yopaj for it, and you should, incredible steal, but also there were ways to prevent that happening, which I'm sure Aurora are talking about right now. It's Kiyotaka getting jumped down to the bottom lane, forced to use that BKB to try and get himself away. But with his Aghanims, he should be able to do so. Although, Fear catches him out. He didn't TP in time, and now he's dead. Kiyotaka gonna drop down in the bottom lane. Although, he's got another Remnant down, but with the Orchid there, and of course they had a dead shot following him as well, so... See you later, buddy.
The Devilana, he was pump faking that black hole a couple times. He was thinking the initial pickoff was like, maybe I should black hole this. He didn't. And then, yeah, of course, with the constant dead shot spam from Hellscream, they had plenty of lockdown and TP cancel.
So one thing I really like about this Boots of Travel on Devilana actually is that it's a really good answer to Dawnbreaker, who's constantly shoving side lanes. Mirror's doing it now as well, but you are going to have side lane issues if you get too far ahead in this game, which seems to be the case at the moment. And Devilana can be the one to come back and deal with it.
The reason why I was potentially concerned by it was he bought Boots of Travel to then struggle in 2 to 3 fights, where that 2,000 gold could have enabled him to win those fights, or at least go even, and then you buy Boots of Travel after, and everything you just said, which is correct, will be feeling better because he's buying them in a stable position, right? It's just the buying them in an unstable game can lead to some potential concerns. We do, of course, have neutral items kicking in. Nothing too crazy. We don't see a crazy amount of Overseal totems. That would be pretty helpful for Shopify if they were able to get multiple of them just to be able to disengage.
Yep. Roshan gonna drop. Shard now for the Elder Titan. Echo Stomp upgraded. And Black King Bar up for Devilana. That is a timing you have to be scared of.
Yeah. Enigma keeping his ninja gear, which is perfectly fine. And positioning is so critical. The AA as well also has a ninja gear. I wouldn't be surprised if he just keeps that. Like, there are some heroes in the game where you're tier 3 to tier 4. The upgrade is not good enough that the physical base item is very nice to keep hold of. The BKB there is available, so you'd like to think the next fight should go better for Shopify. But Aurora, they're smoked up. They want to keep finding these pickoffs and... Oh, Yopaj. Age is gone.
Yep, they will reclaim that Aegis just as quickly as they lost it, and now everything coming down. What the RP comes down onto the Yules' Yopaj as well. And there's a black hole in the backline just onto Nightfall just to kill off the carry. Satanic is there, it's going to heal him up to full. RP number 2 comes out onto Tomato just to stop him from killing off these heroes, but now he's in a bit of trouble. He's going to need to get off this Thunder, and he cannot do so. BKB out from Toronto, Tokyo, into the mines, and they have lost their carry. It's a messy fight from Aurora, but it's 100% working here as they go down onto Davai Lama. Davai Lama's going to fall. All cores dead on the side of Shopify Rebellion. Kitaka coming in, looking for more. Hellscream to die as well. Buybacks are not available right now from Shopify either. They thought they were in a strong position in their game, but Aurora here to tell them they are not.
Magnus constantly finding heroes, right? And of course, it is Magnus. It's what he's going to do. And Shopify, they just keep getting picked off, right? The Tiny gets jumped in the mid lane. Sure, he yules and then Toronto Tokyo misses another RP, but
no, I won't have that slander. A bait RP. But look at it. It was behind him. He wasn't even trying to get him. Bait RP. 100%.
Okay, sure. All right. At the same time, right? Davai Lama, he hits the black hole on Nightfall, but he also doesn't force stuff away from the Satanic quick enough to then give enough of the lifesteal to the Dawnbreaker. Like, if Dawnbreaker died there, it would have been good, but again, Davai Lama gives him the target to kind of replenish his HP, and everything after that just becomes a desperate, just get out. Oh, Shopify, not able to string together a clean team fight in the last, what feels like 15 minutes of the game. Everything always, like, they have all the tools, but everything's just,
And by the way, Magnus took, the Terrorblade took 1,000 magical damage from Magnus and 3,200 magical damage from Techies.
Yes, level 3 proximity mine, pretty good.
That is insane.
Again, the Terrorblade did die to post BKB skewer into like 3 mines. It was a rough one for him.
That is insane. So Tomato I don't know how you even answer this now. He's got a BKB already. You can't just spend your entire game just trying not to get skewered into mines, but yet also yes you can, because you need to.
I think we're getting close to maybe talking about either more damage to ensure that they die inside Black Hole, so the Daedalus isn't his quick buy, or let's go for a refresher so we can survive the entire fight, right? But Daedalus refresher, that's kind of where I'm leaning towards. It could easily be a buy Daedalus first, then you pick up a refresher as well, and you kind of keep it in your backpack and use it that way, but...
Yeah, a lot of people would be thinking about Satanic at this point, but ultimately I just don't think it works because you're dying to burst. Like, he's not attacking people when he's being skewered into mines. Yeah, and Ice Blast as well, good point. So, it doesn't work this game. Which is a shame, because he really needs some way to stay alive. Or, the other option, aggression, get kills, get heroes dead. You kill off this Dawnbreaker and maybe you can win that fight. Roshan is dead. Amulet respawn. Nobody knows. Not even us.
Aurora smoking up. What are they gonna find?
Also, they have been finding like either Yopaj or Tomato first every single fight. I don't know if that's good or not for Shopify.
It feels like they've always found the correct core at the correct moment. You know, when Enigma picks up a big item, he's getting picked off first. When Terrorblade got the BKB running to mid, he gets picked off first, right? It's like Tiny has the Aegis, he's getting picked off first and killed, like, and pressured again, right? It's Aurora are finding the good picks.
Both teams kind of
dodge each other, right? Yeah.
Kitaka, of course, can TP back. He's got the Remnant, so easily able to clear out this creep wave. But Catapult's still alive. Illusion's going to come in, tank up the tower, make sure the Catapults live. Shopify just resisting, existing in this triangle. Incredible place to be as well, because you can just shove in 2 lanes at once with Terrorblade or any sort of Illusion hero.
That's the words of they tried jumping Kitaka but didn't get it. Yep, sorry.
No,
I turned off my auto translator. Yeah.
Everybody knows what that meant. Uh-oh, here we go, jump in, Tomato, RP'd up, he needs a bit of help right now.
Wind Waker.
Yules is out onto him, Wind Waker is there, and now the black hole coming down. Tomato though, he's got to get off the damage, or maybe he doesn't, they're dead regardless. Toronto Tokyo Nightfall killed off by the black hole from Davai Lama. Oh my goodness, Toronto Tokyo with a great catch, but it completely baits out his team, and Tomato escapes in the trees. They kill them, the buyback, the TP out, Shopify Rebellion, they run Aurora in circles. And that was a Divine Rapier, by the way, on Tomato. So he wanted damage. He's got damage.
Well, was that Nightfall's? Yeah, Nightfall had just purchased a Rapier for this fight. And then Yopaj comes. Yeah. So Divine Lama blinks him with the BKB. Yopaj with the beautiful Wind Waker. If you don't Wind Waker him there, the Terrablade dead. This game is completely different. But Yopaj steps up to clutch up the play, keep his Terrorblade alive. They know that Magnus has been a thorn in their side this entire time. And yeah, Yopaj.
Why is Tomato's courier golden and why can it teleport across the map? It's kind of weird.
There's been talks of a patch, my friend. It's
yeah, maybe
Nightfall just been added to the game as a courier. Yeah.
Yeah, for Tomato's rapiers. Okay, well.
Well, we said he needed damage, right? And now suddenly, it's just there.
I've got damage. Ice Blast flies into the bed. Doesn't matter now. Jesus, this game is just in the last minute has just gone completely insane. A minute ago, we said, well, Tomato doesn't really have the damage for the black holes. Now he's got a rapier and an Aegis to go along with it. Like, this is.
I feel like if you're Bulba right now and like Shopify win this game, the only thing you can do is have like a sigh of relief. You know, like there's no like look at this graph. There's no like crazy analysis to make in the heat of like an end of a game one. It's just guys, just breathe. We survived. We did it. Yopaj, Aegis still. Wind Waker clutch save on the Terrorblade. He really is in the game deciding moments. Yopaj right now is stepping up to fix the problems that Shopify are facing.
This team, that in the clutch moments, they really are delivering. Like, sure, their overall strategy, it's good. It's maybe not quite at the level of the top teams, but when it comes down to clutching it up, man, you do not want to play against this team in this sort of game. They feel very happy to make these moves, make these plays. Aurora, are you able to match it?
Yopaj. What a god. Look at him. He's going for a refresher. He's like, you know what? One Wind Waker's not enough for my Tomato. I need 2. And of course, we did see Nightfall. He is looking to complete another Rapier. After he
I think Refresher is underrated on Tiny when you get to level 25 because if those two timers come up together, you just get to juggle someone for infinity.
Yep, 4 toss charges. It's like, you know what, Magnus, you've been repositioning our team forever. Let me just get to level 25 Refresher Octarine and I can match what you can do. Don't get too carried away though, of course. The clutch plays is what gave Shopify the team fight this time. Davai Lama, he needs to hit the black hole. Use that ninja gear to get in position. And Yopaj, he has to
refresh a shot now though from Davai Lama as well, so it's, you know, he's got 2 chances, but he's also very squishy. Like he will just die. He's not very squishy, but there's so much damage, and they're gonna try and find him now. They'll grab him back, but once again, the Wind Waker from the Tiny messing everything up. RP coming down onto the Tiny, second RP, but no! The Hurricane Pipe from Tomato splits them apart, but Tomato is just in the middle of everybody, and he is doing so much work. Bye-bye, Toronto Tokyo. The Tomato, well, he's got the Aegis. He doesn't even care if they come for him right now. Gets the techies as well, most likely. There's the stun coming down. Illusions coming out left, right, and center. Sunder out onto Skim. Skim happy to give it. He's got himself the Tranquil, so absolutely fine. And Nightfall, has he bought himself another Rapier?
Yeah, he has. He is ready, but with his Magnus dead for 70 seconds, doesn't have buyback for 150 gold.
Tomato has another Rapier on the courier then.
Yep. Nightfall, they're picking up the bounty rune. Wait, Nightfall, you need to pick up the bounty rune for your Magnus! What?
Oh no.
He didn't pick up the bounty rune!
40 gold and he didn't get it.
What?
He was right there.
He was next to the bounty rune.
Tomato.
He didn't pick it up.
a Tomato Nightfall. No, he dies. He gets stunned at the last minute. Another black hole coming down. Nightfall, though, with the Satanic, keeping himself alive. It's not over yet. Tomato is going to fall, but Nightfall is going down as well. Surely he's going to drop. He needs to get away, but he's silenced by the billion ghosts, and down he goes again. Death number 2, Rapier number 2, dropped on the deck. GG is called. It will be Shopify Rebellion taking this first game. And the Magnus still dead, still 80 gold off the buyback. Oh, first pick every single pub, and then every single game you just have the Sunstrike and Fountain.
Yeah. But then at the same time, you had Brood on the mid, so then your guy picks Invoker, the enemy picks Brood, and you just lose the game. Yeah, I remember.
Good times.
Yeah, great times.
Oh, not the Sunstrike. Kiyotaka just gathering information from the Fountain. You'd love to see it.
He does have time for another one if he wants to, if he stayed in Fountain, but...
Throughout the eons, I have been known by many names. But my true name...
Okay, that's too bro. I was trying to think, like, what happens if, like, Sunstrike was, like, scaling based on amount of Sunstrikes hit in a row or something?
I imagine that idea has been floated, like, so many times in Valve HQ, you know, like, it just seems...
You're on like a 10 streak, and it's like, oh my god, it's an insta-kill Sunstrike, oh my god!
Yeah.
Of course, like, one stun on your team, and that's broken as hell, right? But
exactly. You just save it for the Legion Commander every time she duels, and it's just freebies, so...
Fire smoked up, so same with Kiyotaka, though.
Taka's gonna be careful here. Won't be giving his life away for nothing. And we'll go 1-for-1 on the runes. Although saying that, Yamato, gotta be careful. It's an awkward situation. You're probably just gonna have to TP to lane. Get in the trees, TP across, make sure you don't get stunned. Toronto Tokyo blocking their lane as well to try and get it under tower. Tomato trying to do the same thing, not really going to be able to work, but can try to drag it back. There you go. And lose the one creep and immediately pop in the Metamorphosis down in the bottom lane onto Toronto Tokyo, forcing him to TP himself away.
Hey, all the way to base?
Whoa.
What?
That's not a good idea, I want to say. I don't know. Alright, some solo XP for Mira.
I mean, that's way to set it. Toronto Tokyo, he's having a terrible series. I'm not even going to try and hide it. He's struggling.
Fair enough.
That was
seemed like a big overreaction. Yeah,
very. But then again, counterpoint. You know what? Counterpoint? I actually take it back. This was a double wave pushing into him, so he actually only missed one creep. But it does also feel like an overreaction at the same time. But you know what? Maybe, now that I really look at the lane, he's having a suboptimal series. Not terrible. I've downgraded the
that play
statement.
was okay. This game's fine at the moment. Alright, cool. Good to know. So far, so good. Mid lane, Yopaj is really getting aggressive onto Kiyotaka, but he does accidentally grab the tower aggro, so forced to back himself away. I like this though, you know, you're playing against his hero, it's really weak in the early levels, so just pressure. Get under tower, get up in his business. Use those resources. Are we doing any sentry battles at mid? Doesn't really look like it. Yopaj has one available in his backpack anyway, so Kiyotaka's not going to bother.
It's one of those matchups where you don't really have a kill on the Invoker, right? Maybe when you're level like 4 or 5, have a bit more XP, you can entertain it, but it's not like a Monkey King or a matchup like that where sentry battling the Sand King is critical.
First blood happens down in the bottom lane, actually, is Tomato. Also looking not so healthy here. Mira bullying both Skem and Tomato.
Yeah, the Ancient Apparition stepped up and with all the control of the Shaman, you are going to be going down. The Terrorblade, I mean, to be fair, both of them can die here. You do need to be careful. Onto Tokyo, body blocking the entry to the Lotus Pool. I wouldn't mind if that just got made a little bit bigger. Just so that you can't body block
Oh,
it like that.
Sunstrike
Nice
coming down, but it's absorbed by the illusion a little bit, which gives Tomato the healthy knees just about to survive this, and the tower shot goes Toronto Tokyo, so Mira's going to be okay for now, but Skem, he has got himself another Ice Vortex, another right click, won't find Mira. Mira gets away. That is very, very close.
Also kind of reminds the side lanes that the Sunstrike is available, right? It does use the meta to try and force away the Tide Hunter while the Shaman's running back to base. With Toronto Tokyo having 2 points in Kraken Shell, as soon as that meta starts hitting him, all you have to do, whoop, activate the Kraken. And then you take nearly 0 damage, just walk it off.
Very slowly waddle off, you mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, of course you do. Good damage happening in this bot lane. Divine Armor in top, we haven't really mentioned the Enigma. Of course, Tiny with the tree grab is a pretty decent counter to the Enigma, but Divine Armor's like, you know what? Fine, I'm just gonna hit the jungle. When the wave is not close to me, I'll give my XP to the Ringmaster, and I'll just be as efficient as possible. Maybe Hellscream could have a bit of impact, right, in this game. As early on, right? He's gonna maybe get level 6 at like the minute 6 or 7 mark if he continues to get uncontested solo XP.
Yeah, and that is the flip side of laning with the Warlock, right? Is that like even Hellscream, you're probably just not going to kill him off. It's way too hard. Supports. As a support, Warlock's just not very good at finding kills. It's down in the bottom lane, a little bit more action. Tomato's being chased, but we'll be okay. Just a constant poking and prodding from Mira, trying to be as annoying as possible. Blocking the small camp as well with his body. Nicely done. Do you want to drag our attention to mid for just a minute, as it's not as bad as it was like about a minute ago as Kiyotaka got a wave under tower, but he is not doing very well in the CS at the moment. The Sanking laying in the pressure, Yopaj definitely getting the advantage over this Invoker at the middle lane, which is to be expected. As I mentioned before, like Invoker's just not a good hero in lane at the moment, and Yopaj going for the epicenter now. Kiyotaka not ready for this one. The big whip coming through. Kiyotaka, he's dead. Even a little spicy tip from the sidelines from Dabai Lama. And some spirals as well.
Okay, we can quickly analyze the tip before we analyze the play, right? Dabai Lama is literally jungling. There is nothing he can do on the map right now that will pressure his enemy. So mentally pressuring him with tips. Kiyotaka knows!
He's like... I mean, what else is he gonna do, right? Like, you gotta have impact on the game some way. You're not attacking heroes. Try tipping them instead. I don't know. It seems to have worked.
What? The fact that me and Kiyotaka are on the same page there, it's like... I just don't know if it's that good of a tip from Dabai Lama. That's all I'm saying, right? Like, if he was like crushing his lane and he's tipping, that's empowering, right? But you're hiding in the jungle.
He's essentially a Twitch chatter at this point, because he's having no impact on the game. He's just jungling and watching the lanes happen from the sidelines. So he's like, he forgot he's playing the game. He's just like getting involved with the chat.
Just emoting on them. But no, of course, it's Dabai Lama always does. He tips consistently. Like where other players have kind of faded away from using them, kind of them going out of meta, he holds true to it. Whenever possible, he'll send a tip around the map.
One thing we didn't mention, by the way, is that during that, they did get a kill on Tomato down on the bottom side, so on that kill on Invoker with the tipping and everything. Oh. Yeah, he did die.
Oh, well, that's not good for Tomato.
You could say that. Dying's not good.
Yeah, I thought I'd say the obvious real quick.
It's alright. Oh, and might be in some trouble again here. Mira's on top of him. No support really nearby other than Skem, who can't do a whole lot about this. Tomato on the run, trying to get away. Sunstrike not going to land, but won't need to. They'll kill him off with the Fatal Bonds. Panto gets the kill. Tomato dies again.
Yeah, and Panto with the 3 charges of Grimoire, if he wants to, he does have access to the ultimate. Not enough mana at the moment.
Did I hear a squeak?
Let's just see Panto run around the map and...
Fatal Wand. Yeah, Wand would get it for him, as we have another epicenter coming down in the bottom lane. There's time to kill off Toronto Tokyo, and he will die. Sanking with the double damage will easily be able to run through a Tide Hunter like this.
Your Porsche is going to have like a 10-minute blink dagger at this rate. That is incredibly fast. To get a kill on the Invoker, to get a kill on the Tidehunter. Also, like, Sand King killing Tidehunter, like, early on that feels quite difficult if you're not just crushing the game, and he is.
Ooh, he's surrounded at the moment, though.
He sees him.
Kiyotaka, oh, nice burst strike, though. Immediately reacting to that one. Burst strike down to the low ground. Mira, Panto, Kiyotaka all come running into the jungle and find absolutely nothing.
Just look at the levels, though, on Shopify. Scam just hit level 6 on the Ancient Apparition. Hellscream's close to level 6 as well. They're taking that level advantage and just sending it right to top lane. They're calling for their jungler to leave the jungle. Hey, man, we can do something.
Time to play the game.
It's time to play the game. Oh, Tomato's going through the gate. Will they see each other? Oh,
hello. They come out on the other side, and this actually ended up looking really awkward for Tomato here. He's trying to TP away. Ravage is available. You can say it. Say the line T, Governor.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it.
You have to.
No. I can't. You do it.
Toronto, Tokyo. He's having a struggle series. We'll say it. Panto getting beaten up on the other side of these gates. It's gate warfare right now, and I'm struggling to keep an eye on what's happening here, but Panto is going to die, but not before he drops the golem down. Tomato, he's going to get sun-stricken to death. Black Hole coming out onto the two of them. Bye-bye Mira, and bye-bye Nightfall, as they both get caught out by this fantastic move from Zavai Lame. He comes out of the jungle, and he puts Nightfall into the grave.
Just imagine if he had the Ravage. None of this had to happen for Aurora.
I don't know. He started so well this series. His RPs in the start of the last game. No, production, come on! Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, look at his reaction as well. Oh no, he's feeling it. And you know, like, the team are just being like, bro? Like, it's
the issue is, when you're having like a bad day, and you're playing massive teamfight heroes like Magnus, like Tidehunter, every mistake is so visual. You know, like a shaman having a bad day. Oh, whatever. You hit a hex on someone. Oh, leave him alone.
Slow motion as well. How long was it? It was close. It was close. We'll give him that. But yeah, he could have done it at any point. In fact,
unnecessarily, but
yeah, just really min-maxing that one. Ah well, what can you do?
Oh,
Jump in, Tomato dying.
Up.
Maybe not actually, yeah, Yopaj with a turnaround onto Toronto Tokyo here. He's gonna fall. That'll be a death for the Tidehunter. Blink Dagger out from the Sand King.
I'm gonna need a minute to readjust to the game. I'm just in my head about Toronto Tokyo, I'll be honest.
Not as much as we're probably in his heads as well. He's probably those idiot cows.
I was having flashbacks to like 3 RPs, 4 RPs, Ravage. Yeah, everything's just.
Listen, he's won a TI. Okay, he's got the ultimate ace card of Dota 2. Okay,
I know. That's why I didn't want to say it, because I knew the answer would be well. Actually, you know, it's like, yeah, we're not disregarding him, but he's a very good player. We're just stating that in the moment, in this specific series, it ain't the one, Chief. But players, of course, you know, they're allowed bad days, and Shopify, it's on them now to capitalize on this, right? They are seeing that Toronto Tokyo is struggling. Yopaj, though, he is not struggling. We praised him, MVP of the last game. In this game as well, 3-0 on the Sand King, finding kills across the map. If he hadn't got those kills, it doesn't matter if you're missing out Ravages, right? Because the net worth would have just been scaling on everyone. Like the Tiny and Invoker, they are doing so well on net worth. But it's just, I don't want to say unheard of, but that sounds a bit too drastic. But the fact that your Sand King is getting this much done on the map, normally it's stopped at some point, but he is yet to be stopped.
Yeah, they don't really have a very clean solution for him either. Sand King is usually, you want to grab something to punish his over-initiations, you know, a quick stun to throw out, and that should be the Shadow Shaman's job. But yeah, when he's level 12, exactly, Mira cannot stand there and shackle the Sand King. Like, he's just going to die to the epicenter in Sandstorm, so.
They're looking for Kiyotaka.
Yeah, it's a very good catch here. They'll be able to bring him down. Another kill for Yopaj. The Midas Invoker gets picked off in the jungle.
Radiant structures are fortified.
As Tavalama starts to put some heat onto the top lane as well. Bang them drums and the tower shall fall. Down on the bottom side though, counter pressure coming out from Aurora.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is falling.
Yeah, Aurora, they need to be careful. Like, a lot of their draft is built around kind of dictating the early pace. Right? Put the serpent wards down, play around the ravage, play around the tiny with the golem, right? But if these things aren't in your control, then suddenly you're using them defensively. You're not setting up the map in how you want to. You can just get outpaced, and I think that's exactly what Yopaj is trying to do on the Sanking. He wants to force Aurora to keep ratting Kiyotaka. He just died in his position. He respawns. He runs it back.
He does run it back. Is he actually going to die here? Yeah, of course he is. He's got a Wheel of Wonder on his face. What am I talking about? Down goes Kiyotaka once again. Aurora, they do not have a mid laner at the moment. Nor do they have an off laner at the moment. But at least they've got a carry, I suppose. And maybe a mid tower. Snake's coming down. Nightfall's in the neighborhood. A couple of clicks will be required, but they should be able to clear up this tower with relative ease. So, and Nightfall just going to have to do some serious delaying in this game, though.
Middle tower has fallen.
So I believe, I just wanted to quickly double check, right? Based on all the games so far at DreamLeague, I believe this is the highest leveled Sanking at the 12-minute mark. Beforehand, GPK was level 11 at minute 12.
We'll do your little
now,
stats thing. It seems like
yeah,
the right time for it.
Oh, yeah, sure. Good. Thanks, mate.
Go on, buddy.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
yeah, thanks, mate. You keep talking, I'll do it.
Yeah. We'll try and make it smooth and professional. Yopaj farming up some stacks here as well, as if he needed stacks as well. You know, he's just getting everything and more. This is a very happy Scorpion farming up the jungle. Bottom side though, scans, double scan from the Radiant. Let's try and find out where Aurora are. Aurora. We said it so many times it's starting to sound like a weird word. I guess it is a kind of weird word. Oh my god. Aghanim Scepter of 15 minutes from the Sanking. Absolutely smoke up and go play with that one. My goodness. What a timing. The Blink Dagger at 10 minutes. The Aghanim Scepter of 15 minutes. Let's see what happens here. There's no way they go for this Tormentor, right? Aurora, they're setting up onto this lane. And here we go, beautiful catch in from Yopaj, straight in onto the both of them. Oh my god, absolutely perfect. Nightfall and Kiyotaka just eliminated from the game. I mean, finding one of them there was impressive. Finding them both is absolutely ridiculous.
I did the stat thing, Nomad.
I didn't see it.
Oh, it's fine. It appeared on... I mean, you got to see the main stream, but it's fine.
Okay,
so much damage. The stream enjoyed the stat. That's all that matters.
Oh, good. Yeah. He's eliminating everybody. This game's feeling...
Yeah, the TLDR is... It's his game, you know. He's the highest level. Oh, I think... Okay, I don't know if we're showing a replay.
Look at that.
That would be hilarious.
I think we want to see the blind,
we killed the tiny, killed the
invoker onto the... like, Nightfall was showing, and that's fine, but catching Kiyotaka behind him is just insane, because that's why the tiny is showing, because Kiyotaka is safely behind him, nestled into the tree line. Never going to be found there. No, Yopaj, he's got his homing sensors on. His sandy sensors are tingling.
Half the, I say problem with Sanking is, if you ever shut down in the early game, you always lack the damage, right? Like, you don't have points in epicenter, you don't have the Aghanims, like, you're chasing for the items before the BKBs come out, right? But when you do snowball the game like this, literally any hero is killable. He could go a Tidehunter, a Tiny, like, you show yourself for a second in lane, he can die, or you can die. And Yopaj, he's playing with that mentality. He's always just blinking around the map, he's looking for that next opportunity. My Llama, he has left the jungle a couple times. But he is back in his favourite spot in the corner of the map. He's going for the double aura as well. Could even argue triple aura. He's got the drum, the pipe, soon to be mech. He really wants to just survive the teamfight of Aurora. Which is a respectable way to deal with this lineup.
Yeah, and it is the version of Enigma we see so often, even in games where, you know, there's not a big black hole cancel, it's still good. I mean, the other theory behind it is that if you're able to survive through the fights and live through like the start and middle of the fight, then getting a black hole when stuns is on cooldown is just as good as having a BKB, so something which people don't mention so much about Enigma and the Aura version. It's not about ignoring the black hole, it's just about using it differently, being more opportunistic. But of course only works if you're really good, and you can keep an eye on all the enemies' cooldowns, which us peasants, well, me as a peasant cannot. You probably could.
Thanks, Nami.
Radiant's top tower
You're good.
attack.
Thanks, mate.
Dire's middle tower is
Ooh.
under attack.
That was quite a low damage Serpent Ward. Tomatoes walks it off, thanks. Yeah.
Dire's
A
middle
little bit of GPM for him. He's really banging the drums here, Yopaj. Having a good time in the river, just smacking his tail around. Alright, let's slow down a little bit here. Gonna be a little bit of a breath to be taken from Aurora and maybe look to find some timings of their own. Yeah, Sunstrike's gonna come down, but we all know that there is not really much chance of them interrupting this. They will just see there and Roshan use that to split the map and to farm as much as possible. Even Panto, look at him, so deep down in the bottom lane. Although, Hellscream's looking for some action. As you mentioned, you know, he's got the levels, he's got the catch, he's got this decent timing on the Atos, so can go in, find some action whilst this Roshan is being taken.
You can see that Aurora don't really care about any of this. They know that their timing for the comeback is not this Roshan. It's survive this Aegis. Ooh! Get the Aegis kill.
Yo.
That's pretty helpful.
Yeah,
But
that'll help.
but this is the point, right? It's like Kiyotaka, he's on his way to Aghanim's, right? Tiny just got the Shadow Blade. How many times when Nightfall picks up Shadow Blade on Tiny does he find this random pick off? Like, he is one of the best Tiny players at getting quick picks on the map. You throw a Cataclysm on top, then he doesn't need a support to follow him. He can be by himself doing it. Sure, right now he is getting chased by the Sand King. They do have sentries down, but I feel like for Aurora, as long as they don't get picked off in this 5-minute window, if they can find a way to keep the game alive, they should be pretty confident that there is a winnable fight in the future. They just have to keep farming, keep dodging where possible. Just stop Yopaj being this menace, this 8-0 menace on the map.
Maybe one day kill him, but it's a while off yet. Where is our Aghanim Scepter on Kiyotaka? Very, very close, actually. So we could potentially have ourselves
It could just be the comeback,
fight.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just Yopaj is so aggressive. What happens in 3 minutes time when Tiny finds him by himself? You get the Avatos and a Shadowblade proc into Cataclysm. Yopaj is dead. 1,000 gold goes the way of the Tiny, right? Like that. There is this chance of it occurring.
Golem coming down up in the top side.
No,
Or
not yet.
At least thinking about it. Yeah. Nah, sorry, Mira. No Golem for you. Oh, maybe Golem for me, though. Warlock getting caught out by the Atos into the whip. So much damage, just constantly being thrown out. And Yamato will very casually walk past and grab this kill. You can see they're in the area. Blink is up for the Tidehunter. Cataclysm is up for Kiyotaka. Without the Fatal Bonds, it feels like you're just missing that final puzzle piece. And you need every single puzzle piece if you want to put this fight together.
But maybe post-meta from the Terrorblade could be a decent window for them to go, and they are identifying that half duration left. They're smoked up.
But look at the positioning here from
wraparound, yeah.
Shopify Rebellion. Like, not only are they far away from each other, they're actually on the opposite side of the map to each other, so there's no chance of them finding like a 5-man or anything like that just yet. But this may be better.
Oh, they got
Here
the
we go,
Enigma.
just straight in. They managed to catch out two. Catacombs down, and Davai Lama, well, saved by the box for now, actually. It's not as good as you would hope, but let's see. Tomato caught in the backlines, but Kiyotaka gets that. Rapture just dies straight away to the Thunder, and now the black hole from Davai Lama. It was supposed to be the turnaround fight, but it's just more tragedy and tears for Aurora. Toronto, Tokyo being chased, being duked. Yeah, he's going to take a while to die, but die most certainly shall. As Panto picked off on the sidelines. Toronto, Tokyo just being bullied at this point. A caged beast, unable to do a damn thing. This is such a sad death. Just zero hope of getting out. It takes it so long to kill him, but kill him they shall.
Onto Tokyo, he saw the backline, he jumped in, but you're jumping onto an Enigma who's got Essence Ring and Pipe and Mech, and then you have the Ringmaster behind him with the Escape Act. We're gonna see it here. Like, sure, you get the jump on 2, but there's just no follow-up damage to get that quick kill. There was a brief, there's almost like a 1.5-second window that maybe the bit more damage could have come into play before the Escape Act, but it just didn't come through. And then Shopify just, oh wait, let's just click our way through the fight. Yopaj, godlike, Tomato right-clicking, killing everything. They found the jump, just did not have the damage.
They were positioned so far away from each other that nothing hit Tomato. Like, he was completely untouched through that entire thing. So he was able to just zone out Kiyotaka, he was able to zone out Nightfall. No one was allowed to come close to that Ravage Cataclysm combo. Therefore, you just didn't really have the follow-up. They were able to survive through it, Box comes out, then the Black Hole comes out anyway. Yeah. It's really difficult. Yeah, splitting image facet's an interesting one for sure. I don't think I've seen it.
When you're this tanky, it's pretty good, right? Because you're already gonna take a ton of damage, and now it's just like Eidolon just popping out of you. Shopify though, progressing the map very nicely. Of course, taking the top towers, now moving to middle, taking the mid tower. Meta Voice use, they are gonna have to just probably relax on the map just for a little bit. They do have a 10-second on the Aegis.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'm told by Patrick, our observer, that the splitting image actually saved him in that fight because it's caused him to spawn an Eidolon, which then helped absorb the Sunstrike. So,
oh,
very nice tech.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, sounds good actually. Yeah, if you're getting if you're taking damage pre-Cataclysm, then yeah, the Eidolon's gonna be chilling.
Nice little kill here, should come through onto Hellscream, but Nightfall's gone pretty deep for this one. Doesn't have a BKB yet, so we'll just die to Yopaj's combo. And Kiyotaka tries to come in as well, does help clean up another one. Will be dying for it, but still 2 kills. It might be 2 kills on 2 sports, but I think you take it at this point in the game, honestly. Maybe you don't actually, that is a really bad trade.
Aurora is so desperate that it does feel like it's somehow worth it, even though, 2 supports for 2 cores, yeah.
The therapy value of those kills is very high, so.
But that's like the motions of what Aurora want to do, right? Sure, this time they kill supports, but in their mindset, it's like, what happens if we do find that as a Sand King, as a kill, or if the Enigma is by himself without his, Ringmaster to save him, right? Like, or at least they're demonstrating that the comeback mechanisms that their draft have available. So it's on Shopify to ensure that they don't lose their discipline and they continue to kind of move together. There's this ball on the map, and Hellscream, he knows his save is critical. He went for an 8th lens. You don't see it too often on the Ringmaster, but in this game, just Escape Act to combo break, it will 100% turn around a fight. Tidehunter, he's seen on the ward.
Double damage coming out for Yopaj as well, so they'll definitely have the damage to bring down this big boy. Trying to Tokyo on the run, but will not be getting out. Another for Yopaj. What's this, 14-0? Very nice. And why not just go for the full-on Daedalus? Like, who needs Revenant's Brooch? Go all out. Like I said, we don't get to see this Daedalus on Sand King very often. It's usually Revenants, or sometimes even just skipping straight to the Shiva's Guard, so...
How often do you have Sand King to a 14-0 with 18,000 net worth at the 27-minute mark, right? Like,
only when I'm watching Yopaj.
Yeah. That is true.
My idol.
Sure.
Kiyotaka just heading towards BKB. Wants to be able to just not die as an afterthought in fights to the epicenter Sandstorm. Which is a reasonable desire in life. Mira and Panto going to get some very, very deep vision down here. They have got Nightfall behind them. Potentially a kill onto Yamto. Tomato would be decent, but having second thoughts, blinking themselves away. Tomato seemed to know what was up and was heading back to his team anyway. Again, we'll say it one more time. There is always a chance of a comeback for Aurora, simply simply due to their heroes. If you group up as 5 as Shopify Rebellion, you get lazy for just a second, Fatal Bonds, Ravage, Cataclysm. It will wipe any team in the game.
Radiant's bottom tower is
But it is very unlikely at this point that Shopify Rebellion are going to just walk into that. And they have combat mechanics of their own as well. They have big team fight mechanics to work with. And they're just generally very split in these fights, as their heroes naturally
Shaman's
will be.
big.
So it's...
So pesky on the Shaman. Ooh.
Hello.
Oh! Hello, mate. Oh, if he'd mantled
Yeah,
to the aggro
yeah.
the Centaur stop, that would have been so cool.
Didn't quite have time to pull it off, but if you hadn't have X'd him, then there was a chance.
You just blink up, you see a tip, you're like, why are you safely farming in your corner of the map?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I'm dead.
Yep. Skem gives him the old razzle-dazzle with the Ice Blast.
Radiant are scanning.
Oh, we need
I
to
do like how active Hellscream has been and just like setting things up, finding extra kills. Just as you mentioned, he had a great time in lane. He's got so much XP, he's able to just run around with the Atos to follow up with the whip. Yopaj looking for Mirror up in the top lane. Yeah, it's a pretty big commitment onto Mirror, but at the same time, why not
Nightfall.
secure yourselves a Roche?
I mean, Nightfall's so pesky on the tiny. Sure, you're losing Roshan, by the way, but like he's diving like a tier 3, kills off a Ringmaster. He's at least keeping himself in contention with net worth. The next fight,
Bottom tower.
Scardy on the Terrorblade. We already talked about the Daedalus. It did leave the banner in the pit.
Ah, who needs it?
Yeah.
Courier's coming for it.
Dire are scanning.
Oh, Nightfall, he's taking the Twin Gate. He is going to be wrapping behind them on top. A quarter duration left on the Shadow Blade.
Yeah, needs
play
to
safe
bury
there.
himself in some trees and wait for the cooldown.
They are pinging for the Enigma. They're smoked up on the Titan that they want.
Do they see him? Do they see
Can
him?
they
Do they
kill
see him? They do. Ravage comes down. Cataclysm's going to be the follow-up as well. But of course, we know Davai Lama isn't really scared of this combo, and that continues to be the case. All the Aurora's coming down. The damage is in. They'll take him out, and Black Hole was used. Nightfall just going to Nightfall himself out of there, as Toronto Tokyo won't quite be so lucky. Although Mira coming in on the sidelines, trying to buy him the space he needs to get out of this fight. He might actually be able to disengage from this. Backside, Panto trying to look for Scam. Probably won't be able to grab him, and will be dying himself. Shadow Word. Oh, it's a lot of damage. It is going to hurt for Scam here as, yeah, mid. They're looking for Tomato. They're looking for the Ringmaster as well, as Hellscream jumping to the sidelines. Scam does actually go down in the end to Mira, and Hellscream playing his way out of it. Atos comes out, but dodged by Kiyotaka with the Ghost Walk. Mira dead to Yopaj over on the other side of the map. As over on this side of the map, Tomato looking for Nightfall. Nightfall, he's got the invis available in just a second here, and of course Tomato has no space for a dust. Oh, Kiyotaka also looking for Mirror Hellscream, but Tomato still helping out. Sunstrike will be required, and with 10 seconds cooldown, that's not very likely to happen anytime soon.
We're just
All right,
fighting
everybody.
everywhere on the map, right?
Yeah, they really are. They're really giving Patrick a workout.
Again, the Titan jumps the Enigma. Surely he's learned his lesson. The Ravage Cataclysm doesn't kill off the Enigma. He has so much life to him. Gale Guard, Greaves, Pipe. Even if the Anchor Smash killed the Eidolon from the Facet to then do max damage on Cataclysm, it didn't do anything. Europasha did nearly die. Sorry, Kia. No, that's the wrong player twice in a row. Nightfall. He did fix that fight top. Instantly gets into the fight, gets the kill, BKB's out. But with all the resource used, Shopify, they go into the high ground. Warlock here was in like BB range.
Okay. Yeah, Panto wanted to go toe-to-toe with Tomato. I don't know why. Nightfall just gets off the cold feet. It was very, very close. Yopaj.
I can hear it.
He's thinking. He always is, though. He's always looking for that opportunity. anybody gets too close to his side of the woods, or if he sees Nightfall, or if he sees Kiyotaka, it will be getting that epicenter on their heads. And with this Daedalus, the amount of damage coming out from him is absolutely insane. Tomato, the illusions, the eidolons, getting these barracks, lasso, shackles, sorry, coming out. Onto Tomato. Alright. Now, you got no Demon Zeal, you got no Metamorphosis, it may be time, just back off for a minute, and yeah, they absolutely make that call. Nightfall showing in bottom. The whole team is pretty nearby. Also, interestingly, Nightfall's going for the Silver Edge. It's Revenant's Brooch, Echo Saber, Silver Edge. It's like all just these little high-value items. Should
He's
just
always
try
playing
and get
for the
that
pick-off.
combo. Yeah.
Exactly. And of course, Silver Edge has lower cooldown than the Shadow Blade, which then enables him to play the map even more aggressively. Shopify though, moving towards mid, they don't want to allow Aurora to set up on the map to find these picks. If you want to fight us, you're fighting us as 5 in an honest fight in the mid lane.
Aurora starting to bleed, not just heroes, but buildings now as well. Middle lane has dropped. Tomato. Horrifying demon, 2 games in a row, striking fear into the hearts of Aurora. They cannot approach him.
Refresh picked up on the Warlock. Okay.
Oh, okay, alright. This could be
GPM
it.
has been working out quite nicely for him.
Certainly
They're
has.
ready for the wraparound though. Hellscream, he's drawing on the minimap, guys. Look for Nightfall.
For wisely just pushing out waves. It's just like, how do they put this together? How do they do this? Because Shopify just naturally are so far apart in the fights. Like, there needs to be some sort of bait, buyback, get some sort of breakdown of Shopify's positioning. That's what it's going to come down to. It's the only way for Aurora to turn this one around.
A multi-hero Ravage would be the answer, right?
Of
No
course,
more
but
solo Enigma Ravagers. Find the AA and the Ringmaster with another core, put all 3 together. Fight for you to throw that kind of big AoE damage into it, but big team fights, it has just been jump the Enigma, he doesn't die, oopsie, we lose the fight. I think the adjustments are quite clear. It's on Aurora to execute on that. And that's why I think they're being very patient this time around. They're not rushing into the fight. They move out as 5, they get a D-ward, they disengage.
it's a really weird anecdote, but back in 2015, when I was playing on some like super amateur team, we kept getting killed by this really good Magnus player. So what we did is we went into the settings and put on like the range indicator for I don't know, we put it to like 900 units or something and said that none of your teammates should ever be inside your range indicator, and that actually won us the game 2 where we let them take the mag. It kind of feels like that's what Shopify are doing this game in answer to the Ravage and everything, just always playing a range region. Nightfall going in really deep for a kill here onto Skem. Gets it. BKB, but cannot get away from Davai Lama. Tomato here as well, very quickly ready to respond to the Tiny. The dust is there, the damage is in, and down goes Nightfall. Good night, sweet prince. He tries desperately to find a little kill on the map, assuming that someone was going to come back and defend bottom, and they were right, Yopaj did, but everybody else ready to respond to mid.
Any BKB piercing stun is the hard counter to the game plan for Nightfall Tiny. He's always by himself. He's always hunting for the map, utilizing the cover of BKB to get out. Right, like as much as people meme the Nightfall BKB TP whatever, it is often a kind of mechanic that enables them to stay in games. Oh, they are losing them in the bot lane.
They have
Very
double
slow.
golem as well. Yopaj gonna try and go in for this, and does find Kiyotaka. Kiyotaka with the BKB though, gonna try and buy them some time, but the supports instead are gonna be the ones to get dropped by Yopaj here. Although, Panto, under the cover of invisibility, actually escapes. Meanwhile, top barracks are being attacked by illusions as well.
Can both teams decide where to fight? We keep seeing like one guy here, 2 guys there.
I think they just don't like Patrick.
That is true. That is, oh well.
PTP, the Observer, getting bullied by these teams right now.
But it feels more like Aurora is the one making all the chaos on the map, where Shopify are reacting to every little bit of aggression, rather than them going, you know what, we can go here and fight. And I think that's where Shopify are respecting the overwhelming team fight of Aurora, because some might argue, just go hit the racks, guys, you're far ahead. But that possibility of a comeback, that, you know, the Sand King that's yet to die in the game, going high ground, it simplifies the fight for Aurora, a fight which they have struggled on. We've not seen a good Ravage what feels like the entire game. When you go high ground, it's kind of hard to miss a Ravage.
It can be, unless Tomato has the Aegis and he is just attacking a million miles away from his team.
You could be now
Still low.
Enigma, yeah.
Will there come a point where we start to worry about Shopify Rebellion's chance to actually finish this one out?
I think we debate that when we have Refresher on Invoker. I think if like Shopify are walking up the high ground into double Cataclysm, and then we're talking about like double Golem, and there's double Ravages, like there's already a Refresher on Warlock, there's already a Refresher on Tidehunter. I feel like we're maybe getting close to that narrative being set. But they have to execute on the fight as well. Like Aurora just aren't really connecting their heroes as well, so doesn't matter if you have all these spells. They're not really getting pressed in the together anyways.
Yeah,
are they trading Roshan for Rax, it seems?
It's looking that way. They're going to have snakes down. Nightfall's going to be here as well. No fortification either available, so bottom lane, Nightfall just comes in, gives it a few smacks just to see if anybody's going to respond. Roshan lets out a scream.
That's looking up. If you're Shopify right now, Roshan's not falling that quickly.
Yeah. That's because they're not really gathering in the pit, right? They're still respecting the potential of the Ravage, even though they've just seen Toronto Tokyo at bottom.
That means they're here.
Mirror in the pit, giving them the vision, but in comes the box so quick from Hellscream before the Ravage hits him. The turnaround's coming, the damage out from, oh my god, Yopaj. He is doing way too much. It is just ridiculous. Another double damage from Yopaj there as well. The entire screen just falls apart. Of course, Aegis grabbed in the middle of that by Tomato. She's also going to be taken up as well. Aurora, they try for it, they go for it, but of course, it is not enough. Ooh, a little close left to get attack, but he gets away.
I blinked and he did like 5,000 damage on Sand King. It was... Oof.
Yeah, it
was
doesn't matter where you are at this point as well. It is just like a map-wide epicenter. Yeah. The combo of the 20 and 25 talent's just absolutely ridiculous.
But you have to give major props to Hellscream there. Like, in the brief moment of that initiation, with Mira hitting the Hex, then the Ravage, Hellscream gets the Escape Act off. If he doesn't get that box onto the Terrorblade, maybe we entertain a different fight. But before he gets stunned, he clutches it up, gets the save on the Terrorblade, and of course, we see Yopaj rip through the fight. But Aurora, they've got all the fight in the world, but it's just not really coming together. And to update everybody, guys, just in case you want spoilers, both BB and Liquid did win their second game. So it is as simple as this. If Shopify lose this game, they are out. BB Liquid go through top 4 with Aurora and Enigma. If Shopify win, then I believe it's the 3-way tiebreak.
Let's go. That's what the people want.
So everyone watching this game right now, if you're Liquid or BB, you are just hoping for the Cataclysms to come into play. It just does not look to be the case.
No,
Meatball's thrown, yeah.
I mean, even when he does land it, it's just not doing enough damage, and of course you've always got the Hellscream problem.
Mirror and Nightfall, they just keep playing for the Rat. You force them back with the Serpent Wards. You hope someone shows, but Yopaj is so disciplined. Whilst we're watching this, he's just not showing at all. He's waiting in the trees. Nightfall, he steps up.
A little bit of baiting, a little bit of poking, a little bit of prodding. Epicenter's still gonna come in as Cataclysm comes down just to get an idea on where everybody's at, what everybody's doing.
They do see that Enigma TP'd as well. Maybe there's a chance? Maybe? 25 seconds on 2 golems for Warlock. Aurora aren't too quick to leave the base. You can see that the kind of the experience of Aurora is shining as we enter into the late game, right? Like the constant wave shove, the Shaman and the Tiny forcing the map. Even though Shopify have this lead, you know, yet to lose a team fight, they are the ones still reacting so greatly. And you can see that in regards to kind of the net worth. It has been stalled. You know, the 12k lead never really blew up into 20, 25k. That's because Aurora at least are playing the map constantly.
They are. They also have these really, really big team fight abilities as well. You now have Refresher Orb on Invoker, you have Refresher Orb on the Tide Hunter, you have Refresher Orb on the Warlock, so if you ever get baited into like a big fight, or, you know, you kill somebody, they buy back, they'll have a second ulti, like there's so many things which Aurora can do to stay in this game and turn this one around. But Shopify, they've been respecting this whole time. That's the other thing. You know, all the other teams, they would have got too comfortable, they've been caught out. It's a strong combo. They've just been really, really disciplined on Shopify Rebellion.
Minute 10 on the Aegis. Of course, the meta has been used, but that means when the Aegis is out, he will have meta back up again. But the entire time, they're poking bottom. Look where Nightfall is. Off taking a Wisdom Shrine. Now, TP's back to base. Dragging them around the map.
They may want to play off the Aegis timing here. Could be an opportunity.
Yeah, it's half duration on meta. There is no refresh.
Wrap around.
Yeah.
Maybe even going before the Aegis. I mean, who would expect the jump on the 30 seconds left on the Aegis?
They are very clumped up.
They are very
This could be the Ravage! This could be it!
It really could! The vision! It's there! The Ravage! The Cataclysm! It goes perfectly! Yopaj! Double Llama! Skip! Take it out of the fight! Tomato TP's away! He will escape! But it is the first big connection here for Aurora, and they are looking for more. Hellscream gonna get chased down as well. Well, it took a while. It took a very long time, but finally they pieced together a fight here, and it looks so convincing.
Is under attack.
Shopify, they had done such a good job at like breaking the map, not falling to the smokes, but finally after 44 minutes and 29 seconds, Tokyo hits a Ravage, and that is it. It doesn't matter all the Ravages beforehand. This is the one that matters. He sets up the double Cataclysm, blows up the fight, and Yopaj hits his first death of the game, but this could be the death that gives Aurora the win. It does, like, whew.
It's huge.
There's so much confidence is going their way now.
Strap in, I'm about to throw some numbers your way. 6,500 damage dealt from Kiyotaka in that fight. 4,600 XP gained from Kiyotaka in that fight. 2,600 gold gained from Kiyotaka that fight. My man just got a whole windfall, a whole inheritance coming his way.
It's that constant map pressure though, the entire time. Shopify are having to, you know, navigate which wave are we pushing, which racks are we defending, whilst also, guys, we should be the ones hitting their base. Why are we doing all of this? And whilst you're having that discussion, you're always going to just slip up that one time in Aurora. They capitalized on it. 20 seconds dead on Hellscream, 10 seconds for the Sand King. He does have buyback though.
The 12k gold advantage, which has been sustained for such a long time, just disappeared before our very eyes. You love it when a plan comes together, and yeah, that is a Aghanims on the Shadow Shaman.
The Liquid fans right now, and the BB fans, they're like, oh, okay, Aurora, all right. No tiebreakers for us, potentially. Yeah, this is, this game is so 50-50 now. That was the exact fight required.
I'm just reading this Shaman Axe because I have not seen it before.
Oh, okay. So yeah, increases cast range, and then when you put it onto an ally, it then does ether shocks around the target you're shackling, the ally. But yes, it is optimistic that he will get to level 25 this game, as he is currently sporting only level 17. But yeah.
I mean, it just looks like it's really good for pushing out waves from a million miles away, I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if he uses it up here in the top lane to push out this tower.
Look, shot. Oh,
blep, 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 blep.
That's good. And then the tongue just slowly retracts. Oh, God.
Yes.
That was really good.
Sometimes. Yummy.
Normally it's quite instant now. That was uncomfortable.
Slow retraction.
Alright, let's look at it again. Mitchell.
Both teams sort of now stunned into a bit of catharsis as we are waiting for those ultis to come back off, the refresher orbs to come back off. They are all back now in the last few seconds, and Roshan, of course, going to start respawning pretty shortly. Looking like it's going to be a pretty long one as well.
I mean, the stun lock hits Shopify because...
It was instant.
Wait. Okay, fair enough.
I don't know how to read that clock, I'm just blindly guessing, and I will not learn.
That's right. No worries, mate. Roshan is roaring though. In the wave,
Yeah,
constantly getting shoved in. Kitaka grabbing bot wave, and now mid. The fight is here, everyone is ready.
Here we go.
Instant.
Ravage number 1 coming down, takes out Scam.
Yep.
We do have a second one, so you get
Roshan
a
is
redo.
falling.
But Tomato's still in the pit. He's still hanging out in here. They're going to get the vision here with the gush, and now Toronto Tokyo has no choice but just walk into the pit. He's got the refresher available. Now the second Ravage available to come down. Cataclysm are being jumped. Tomato so low. Aegis grabbed by the Tide Hunter. Yet Tomato's just dead. Toronto Tokyo with the high skill player just waddling into the pit, and Black Hole's Hall forced to come out onto Nightfall, but there comes a Cataclysm. Box is going to buy him a little bit of time on the Enigma. He needs to get himself away, but he doesn't have a refresher, and he might just be dead. Buyback coming out from Tomato as well. He comes in from the high ground, as in comes Yopaj bouncing into the fight, saying hello to Nightfall. Nightfall's life gets taken away. Buyback immediately though. He wants to come back in on this one as Tomato forcing down onto Toronto Tokyo, but with the Ghost Scepter, he's buying himself a load of time here as they found Yopaj on the side. It is a dieback from him. Tomato, he's got to do it all by himself. His team's coming in. Here comes Hellscream. Down goes Toronto Tokyo for the first time, but he grabbed that Aegis. He's absolutely fine. And Panto, he's running forwards with another Golem available if he wants it. They will take down Skem for a second time, and now with just 2 players left. Shopify, it is their turn to pull off the impossible. Can they hold against Aurora now?
I'm going to answer the question, and it might deflate the cast, but no. It is
No,
a 2v5
It is kind of over.
Aurora, they were struggling so much, but you get to the late game with the refreshers, the spells, the positioning, you eventually can find that
Tomato,
opening.
gonna look at Mira here. Immediately getting hexed up by Mira. That was so damn quick. Okay, alright, well. Yeah, Tomato's just kind of dead, isn't he?
It's just the end, or?
Yeah, this is game over. Sorry,
okay,
friends.
yeah, well, fair enough. GG.
Hope you guys enjoyed watching this series, but that is done. I mean, it was a hella good match. It was a hella good series.
The all chat from Nightfall. Okay. Again, don't forget, in the laning phase, Divine Llama was jungling, was tipping everyone, and the severity of this game too was Aurora. It didn't matter. They were already through to group stage 2, but